Philip, it has certainly been an interesting off season when you're coming into a new organization and trying to build relationships with new teammates. And in the team meetings last week, Coach Reich shifted the conversation away to football and really instead having some very candid, open, and important conversations regarding racism. To you, what was most impactful about hearing those experiences and those conversations that you guys were able to have last week?
It was in a lot of ways a tough week. It was unique too for me, having not met a lot of these guys in person yet. So not only was I hearing tough stories, feeling guys' pain, your teammates' pain, but also not really knowing them very well in person. But I felt like I got to know them a heck of a lot better after those couple days. I think it really brought us together as a team. There's something about being in a locker room and being together. I think the biggest thing, I took from it, I guess, I never felt naive, but I think when you hear it, from your teammates in that setting, it really opens your eyes even more. And so I think more than anything, just feeling the pain from so many, wanting to listen, wanting to make sure that guys knew that, the best I could share to them that I cared, I loved them, I was listening, can pray for them. Those things first, I think, is what anyone hurting wants to hear. And so hopefully that was portrayed the best I could. I know Frank did a heck of a job from the head coach position. And I really think we grew as a team. And I think as a team, when different things come about, as we use our platform to help make things better, I think that there'll be a lot of guys are on board. Hopefully all of us are on board and doing what we can to make things better.
And you are now just able to meet some of those guys in person. Your family has made the move to Indianapolis. You're getting settled in. Although there are not those organized team activities, how much are you able to get in that work on your own with some of your receivers now that you're in town?
Yeah, I think quite a bit. I think we'll be able to do quite a bit. I think it'll ramp up here in the coming days where we can maybe even get more guys together and actually run plays and those kind of things. But quite a bit. I think, first of all, I know we have a nice mix of veteran and young guys, but we have a real locker room full of pros that guys like to work and understand what it takes to be great. And then I do think this is where having the experience and being played for so long that I feel like I can, both in conversation with Nick and Frank, I can get done. Get a lot done, as far as leading the way and directing things from a standpoint of efficiency and getting plays repped that we want repped and all those kind of things. So I look forward to it. I look forward to being around the guys and hope, yes, the football part. Again, the football part's important. There's going to be some things, timing things here and there, and some little nuances to routes that we need to communicate through. But more importantly, just be around one another. Just to be around one another and laugh and talk and work and catch up, because that's one thing we've certainly lacked over the last, without being in person throughout this all-season program.
Well, coming in free agency, you were certainly knowledgeable on the veterans of this offense, and especially having previously worked with Coach Reich and Coach Sirianni. But when you see in the draft those first two picks going with Michael Pittman Jr. and Jonathan Taylor, you're going offensive heavy there. What excites you about the complement that you have of the established veterans on the offense, and then you add these young guys into the mix as well?
Yeah, well, man, I was I guess I shouldn't say surprised, but maybe, pleasantly surprised at those first two picks, just in some ways that those two guys were there. And then obviously you never know what direction, Chris and his team and those guys that have done all the scout work, where they're going to go. But super, super excited. Not only those two, but I thought it was a heck of a draft all the way. But Michael Pittman Jr., he's got some size, some length. Obviously, I played against his dad. He was in Denver one year, and we were playing those guys. So obviously, his football background is awesome, and then go from one Wisconsin running back to another in Taylor. So both those guys have been great though in meetings, been outstanding in meetings, the way they've picked it up. Those as a rookie, I go, man, that really the challenge there, right? Not being there, truly a completely new offense. But those guys in particular have been outstanding in the meetings, and again, that's a credit to them and a credit to this staff. I mean, I tell you what, this offensive staff and how well I could go on and on about how what a heck of a job they've done. Or I can't imagine the time they've spent, working to make these meetings so efficient. Because if you got a bunch of guys sitting on meetings and there's a lot of waiting around and different, I mean, as we know, technical difficulties can happen, but it's been absolutely been awesome, the work we've gotten done.
Last thing for you, Philip, you mentioned how productive those virtual off-season meetings have been. You're going to have time to get together with guys over the next few weeks. When you do report to the facility later in July, what's top priority that you want to take care of, get down to business when you are with your teammates, finally getting to work in preparation for week 1 in Jacksonville?
Well, I think you mentioned it's Jacksonville. I think the attention will shift quickly to week 1, and obviously you got to worry about ourselves for a little bit longer during camp before you get to week 1. But I think starting to have that week 1 division game mindset, letting that start to creep towards the keep it back here for now, but it'll start creeping towards the front of our mind pretty soon. I know for me it'll be getting my bearings, learning where making sure I'm good with it. Dining hall and the equipment room and all that stuff, getting situated, I guess will be early on, but hopefully some can be established in these over the next 6 weeks. But I think you can only earn that. I'm hopeful and thankful that I have a resume, hopefully that's there enough to where there's going to be some respect and those things from a playing standpoint. But I think you can only gain that trust and that true just that from being together and being around each other on the practice field, working and doing all those things. So I think that'll be the biggest thing for me, is wanting to jump right in and being one of the guys and, working alongside them and knowing that, shoot, I'm thankful to be a piece of the puzzle. I'm not the piece, and I'm a piece of it, and I want to be a part of this group that gets to the next level. And so I look forward to that and those interactions daily, the daily grind. I think that's when it kind of all comes together.
Philip, we very much appreciate your time. Appreciate you being part of the organization here. Excited to have you here, your family as well. Welcome to Indianapolis. We'll see you real soon.
Thank you very much.